Imagine a world where you can lock in heroes before you queue.
Oh, that really hurt my throat. Hey guys, how's it going? Toofty here, and we have a couple of things I wanted to chat to you guys about today. Before we jump into what I just said in my amazing accent there, I've got a genuine question for you guys. So, imagine you wanted to try a new hero, new to you, not new to the game. Hanzo, for instance, you never really played him before. What do you do? What's the first steps you take? That might sound really dumb, really obvious, but I'm genuinely interested to know what people do, like what their first steps are. So with me, let's take a look at the main menu. You might think, let's go to training. Okay, let's jump into the practice range. You probably wouldn't bother with tutorial. So yeah, say I'm playing Hanzo, just to get a feel for him. Jump into the practice range for 10 minutes, then you're bored, right? Okay, fair enough. Maybe some people would practice versus AI next. I've played that once in my life. It was pretty dull. So personally speaking, after I've been in the practice range for 5-10 minutes, I will jump straight into quick play. You know, it's a format that is at the core of the game. It's what you need to get good at. You get the most realistic experience of the game. And you know, if you're considering playing comp in the future, that's what you want to be doing. Maybe you'd try arcade, and this is where I want to hear from you guys to let me know if you think one of these game modes is particularly good for sort of practicing a single hero. With the new changes to these modes where you got the lockout elimination, I think these are great for practicing new heroes because you know, you got 3 to choose from. You're going to be forced to choose some heroes you're not comfortable with. So it's great for practicing a nice broad range of heroes, but if you really want to stick to that one hero over and over again to get good at them, say Hanzo, you're probably not going to stick around here too long, just because it's a bit too random, you know? So yeah, again, you'd probably end up in quick play. So what happened to me the other day when I jumped into quick play, I selected Hanzo, so this is a real story now. I just wanted to, you know, test him out. Immediately, I got abused. Immediately I got abused. I don't think we had any healers, so I mean, I didn't care. We're in quick play. I'm just messing about. I chose Hanzo, and I got a grilling. First of all, it makes me question like why that other person didn't choose healer if he's very worried about winning. But that's a separate matter. But yeah, he moaned at me for not picking a healer, and I said, you know, I just want to mess about and try out some Hanzo, have some fun. So it really is not quite as simple as you might think. Just, you know, playing a new hero and getting good at them. Now, obviously, the other side of this is my rank is not great. Don't look at that. My rank's basically around gold. So if I play Hanzo, I'm probably playing at a silver level, perhaps, because I'm going to be rubbish at him. So I jump into a game, but yeah, I'm basically going to be, I'm not going to be contributing loads, and people are probably going to get a bit miffed at me, because I think there are people who kind of play quick play as if it's competitive, not in a bad way, just because they're not comfortable in competitive, so they play quick play very competitively, if you see what I mean. They really want to win, which is fair enough. You know, you're meant to want to win. So yeah, what do you do about that? Now, there's one idea that's been thrown around a bit already, and I'm not saying this is what we need to do by any measure, but I think it's really interesting at the very least. And that is, well, to basically imagine a world where you have a different rank for each class type, or even for every single hero. I know, it's mental, and don't get me wrong, this falls flat. It doesn't work because mid-game you may want to switch heroes, okay? Of course you would. The teams are dynamic, you need to adapt to the other team and what's happening. But there's definitely something interesting to be said about this. So imagine if you, for example, you queued in competitive as a tank, and therefore it takes your tank level, for instance, and maybe that's platinum, whereas your support level is silver, or whatever it is. The problem with that is, like I said, you can't really suddenly decide, you know, I want to switch to support now. And then, you know, the combined SR of the team goes down. Unless you can kind of measure, okay, so for 50% of the game, you were playing at your platinum hero type, and then for 50% of the game, you're playing at your silver hero type. It's getting complicated, but that would be fairly easy to do. And then you could work out, okay, so your average level for the game was X, and therefore that's how much you should be awarded at the end, or what have you. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, the idea of queuing as a class type or a hero type before you jump into a game. Like I said, you could queue as an individual hero, probably even more broken because, you know, that's very restrictive. Unless you kind of decide, okay, I want to jump into a game with this composition, you know, it's pretty bonk. It's a bit too strict, but you could say I want to play in a game with a 2-2-2, for instance, and I want to play tank. The tank I'm going to choose is Zarya or whatever. But yeah, you're kind of taking out the fun of jumping into a game at this point. But that aside, there's definitely something to the idea of having different ranks for each of your heroes, because I honestly think that each one of us can play at quite a range of levels. Say you played 10 matches, there are moments within those 10 matches where you're probably playing a rank above what you normally play, you know, you're on fire, you're doing awesome, and then there are moments where you're playing below average, you're kind of just missing all your shots and things are going really wrong. Now obviously your rank is pretty much the average of those 10 games, so that kind of makes sense anyway, but if that variation does have anything to do with the kind of heroes you're playing, then maybe that's something they could track. Maybe, I don't know. By the way, I've not really played much competitive this season. I did my placement matches and then landed in silver, and I was like, I'm never playing this game again. No, I know it's meant to put you a bit lower than normal when you're meant to build back up, but I don't know, I'm not feeling it too much. I'm kind of just not been playing a lot, so I've actually been playing a lot of arcade recently, so like I said, trying to practice a bunch of different heroes and just kind of having a bit of fun with it. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on these two topics I touched upon. One, where do you go to practice a new hero? Because, you know, we're all very competitive in nature. If you're in a quick play game and you're losing and you're feeling like, if only I was playing, the, you know, a soldier who I'm pretty good at, but I just really want to get better at Tracer, I find it very hard not to swap and just go, okay, sod it. I'm playing soldier. I just want to win. So let me know if that happens to you as well. You know, you start off going, right, I'm going to play this whole round. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to try Tracer. Let's see if I can get better at her. You die twice in a row and you're like, screw it. I'm going someone else. It's hard to stay motivated in a competitive environment to play classes you're not very good at. And yeah, the second thing was, imagine having a different rank for different kind of heroes, or even for every individual hero. Probably a bit too mental, but you know, I think there's something interesting there. Maybe it just applies to competitive, a certain level of competitive where, you know, at the higher levels, because you know there's a lot of complaints about people being matched with 5 Mercy mains or whatever, heaven forbid. That would kind of solve that, you know, if you've ticked I can play support or I can play tank, and then it, you know, it matches you accordingly. I think that's kind of interesting. So yeah, just a quick one today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts and I'll see you guys in the next one.
It's